Hey, this is Anton, the Hyper Advisor over at thehyperadvisor.com. What I wanted to go through today is a tool that I developed and I just put it up on GitHub or made it public on GitHub for deploying Apache CloudStack environments. Um, it basically just gets the packages and the management server, the host, KVM host, in the database, and replication if you want to set that up as well, done for you. And it does it so it's consistent and it's repeatable. So I want to do a kind of a zero to cloud stack right now. We're going to do an all-in-one for this video, and in another video I'll actually do it where I use uh, more components, where I have multiple web servers and hosts and database servers, etc. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I'm going to need is a system to install the CloudStack deployment tool on, and I'm going to go ahead and use a link clone here. This has CentOS 6.5 on it. Use the minimum installation ISO to get this installed, and it probably needs packages updated right now, but you don't need to run through that. So let's go ahead and start the clock, even though I don't have a machine set up yet. Well, it's almost set up, and so this will be a good exercise just to see how long it takes to stand up an all-in-one system with CloudStack. Let's change the name of this system. All right, and open up a terminal. Make that bigger. Let's see. Let's start the host that we're going to install to. Again, this is the same. It's a CentOS 6.5 virtual machine that has the CPU extensions enabled so that we can install KVM on it. But we're going to install the management server, the database, and everything on this one virtual machine right now, just for simplicity. This could be physical hardware that you're doing the installation to. See what the IP address is. Alright. What we will need is what's required. One is host resolution. So in this environment, I don't have DNS set up between these two. These are two fresh VMs that's been set up. So I'm going to update the host file on this newly created system here that we're going to install the CloudStack deployment tool to. And that's all we need there. Alright, so I think we can go ahead and install Git. And we can, while that's going, just configure the virtual machine there. Nothing fancy. Alright, and let's open up the browser. Did I forget the URL? And we will install CloudStack deployment tool in this directory. You can install it any directory you want. It should still work. I'm going to go Python, and what we want to do is set up all. And you can follow the documentation that's on the GitHub repository. Now this will go ahead and install all the requirements. wget is one, Ansible, and Node.js plus all of its dependencies are required. So we'll go ahead and install all those. And when that's done, because I'm using Node.js for the web server, we'll go ahead and install or initialize the Node.js app and any of the dependencies that I had in there for it as well. You see this VM needed a lot of stuff here. That's fine. We'll let it go through its process. The good thing with the tool is once everything is set up, you don't have to go through all this again. So we can do the all-in-one system today, and I don't have to re-download anything to be able to do another deployment to multiple systems. So you could effectively get this set up, package up the VM, and reuse it as needed. Alright, let's go ahead and install the RPMs, or get the RPMs. RPM version equals 4.3. We could get 4.3 and 4.2. This will do either one, or you can install all of it and deploy 4.3 to one environment and 4.2 to another, whatever suits you. Or you don't have to download any RPMs, to tell you the truth. You could actually use the internet installation type, and what it'll do is use the CloudStack repository that's in the EU. I found that to be really slow because the CloudStack packages are getting fairly large, and it takes a while for them to download. So doing the download up front can save you a lot of pain moving forward. And we'll download the system template for 4.3 as well. Only downloading the KVM system template, and also only the packages that don't include the proprietary ones, like for VMware and all the other stuff that can't be redistributed. Also, you can go faster. Okay, so now we're ready. So it took a little over 9 minutes just to get the environment set up, or the utility set up, so that they can actually do a deployment, right? Which is not bad if you have nothing. If you're starting from zero, 9 minutes is nothing to get set up. So from here, we can actually go ahead and do a deployment, and we can actually lapse this. Let's see. And we'll say it took 10 minutes. Here, and all you have to do is answer the questions, and we'll give it this host name. Hopefully we can ping this. I did not test that. No replica. Oh, actually I put replica in there. So actually, you know what? We'll be testing this. I'll go ahead and put it in there. I actually have a setting that if the replica and the primary are the same, it will not install the replica. Primary, so there's a little fail safe in there. You want a primary server. You don't want any additional ones. We want a KVM host. This can be common delimited to add multiple systems. Yes, we want to install the templates. NFS server is adding the replica stuff in there might eat into my time that I was trying to actually get to, but oh well. Install type, don't want internet, we don't want 4.2, and we will need to go ahead and precede the RSA key for this host since we've never SSH'd into it. Say yes, and go ahead and start the installation. It's going to ask for the password, root password, and we'll go ahead and start it off. And we can see we're 2 minutes just answering these questions here. I'm going through that little process. Alright, so we can go ahead and stop this. So it was pretty much 10 minutes to get the environment set up for the tool, and then 10 minutes to actually get CloudStack installed on this all-in-one system. You may not have heard it, but my laptop has been spinning. The CPU has been spinning really heavily. I got a few things running on this. So depending on your environment, what you're installing the software to, your network, blah blah blah, time will vary. But 20 minutes is pretty good. Let's go ahead and log into so that we can at least see that this system has CloudStack installed. Alright, so proof that CloudStack is at the management server is at least installed. Now it went through and it preceded the templates and everything, so let's go ahead and set up real quick. Let's run through the wizard so that we can get this thing going, where you can actually start using it and testing. Okay, I'm just going to blow through this. I'm not going to give it any kind of naming convention that you should follow. Just want to go through and kind of show that the installation installed and things will work once we put in the right information and we set up the cluster and we add the KVM hosts in here. Okay. KVM. Primary storage. Go ahead and launch, and this will go ahead and run through and configure this all up for us. Should go fairly quick. Alright, so setup is successful, so that's good to see. And everything at least installed correctly. The system templates were seeded properly. In a second here, this will update and give a little more information. It does take a little bit for the secondary storage VM kind of come online and refresh here. But you can see all the components here we just set up. We got 2 system VMs, they're actually running, so that's a good sign. Go to the dashboard again. So now the secondary storage information is populated. It does take a little bit to update, but so don't get worried when you see it as zeros. So if we go into the template now, the system template should be already downloaded, and it's downloading the CentOS virtual machine that they include here. We'll go ahead and let that download. Alright, so the download's complete for this generic VM that's included here, and we can go and deploy an instance now using that. Let's go ahead and run through that. Won't add any storage, and we'll just take the defaults on the installation, and we can give it a name. Go ahead and launch. Alright, so now it's running. Remember, this is running on a virtual machine, so it's going to go pretty slow. But we can see here that the virtual machine is starting up now. And really that's it. So we have a fully working system. Basically in 20 minutes, everything was installed, the environment was set up, and in 10 minutes, and then 10 additional minutes to do the installation of all the CloudStack components on this one system. And as we've gone through, you can see that we have a running virtual machine on here. So the installation process worked. It's not perfect. There are some things that can be improved on the tool, so I'd appreciate any feedback that you can provide, and hopefully this will help you in your future deployments. Again, I'm Anton Hayward over at thehyperadvisor.com. Later.